Parallax, the first episode after the pilot, that's actually an episode I can't really say that much about. It's one of those typical early Star Trek get to know the crew episodes. We get to know the Starfleet and the Maquis and how the Starfleet and Maquis are going to get together, work together, and for me actually it's ultimately pointless because you have plenty of seasons ahead. This was before the time of Enterprise. Back in those times, mid-90s, Star Trek was still guaranteed to go on for a few seasons, so we would have plenty of time to get to know the crew. We don't need early on a specific episode to get to know the crew, because we are going to get to know the crew. It's not. We don't really need an episode dedicated to that, and other than that, it doesn't really do much. We get to see how Chakotay and Janeway work together, and we get to know how B'Elanna Torres becomes chief engineer, despite John Kerry, who we are introduced to being against it, feeling first in line because he's Starfleet, and Seska, of course, trying to. We are also introduced to her trying to stir up trouble and all that, and it's all just introductions. You're arriving at a dinner party full of strangers, you're all just introducing yourself, but there's no really content exchange. It's just small talk, and this episode is the equivalent of small talk, because the story is Voyager sees a reflection of itself. And Captain Janeway and B'Elanna Torres need to fly a shuttle to solve it. Okay. That's how long did it take you to come up with this plot, Brennan Braga? I don't even remember the writing credits for this episode, and it could be some Star Trek writer, but I'm just going to say Brennan Braga because it's so Brennan Braga to just have an episode of nothing. What kind of premise? Voyager sees a reflection of itself, delayed in time. Oh, wow. Incredible. Wow, that's so sci-fi. That's amazing. And really this is just kind of an episode to skip, because what do you need? You have plenty of time to get to know the crew. We have 7 seasons. We know that in hindsight, to get to know the crew, we don't need a get to know the crew episode with no plot. That is just introductions and small talk. And Parallax, it's just really a waste. You don't need this episode, seriously.